Welcome back to our how-to series on the Climatiq Excel add-in. In this video, we cover the general estimate formula. This formula allows you to calculate carbon emissions for any business activity, whether it's fuel use, manufacturing, freight, or waste, using an activity ID provided by Climatiq of a specific emission factor. The emission factors used in these calculations come from Climatiq's Data Explorer, which aggregates and normalizes data from trusted sources, including Exiobase, UK DEFRA, EPA, IEA, and many more. With hundreds of thousands of scientifically vetted emission factors covering all regions and use cases, the database ensures you have the factors you need for audit-ready calculations. You can use any activity ID from the Climatiq Explorer, along with the calculate formula to get instant carbon estimates. You can also utilize the search emission factor database formula within Excel to retrieve the IDs. Let's start by taking a look at the documentation in the task pane. The formula is Climatiq.CALCULATE and it accepts the activity ID, the amount, unit, region, source, and year as inputs. Let's break these down. So the activity ID refers to the emission factor that you want to use. As mentioned, you can find it using the search sheet in Excel or directly in the Climatiq Data Explorer at climatiq.io/data. Next is the amount, which is the quantity of activity data, which will be a number. Next is the unit, which defines the activity's measurement. So this could be something like liters, kilograms, kilowatt hours, and so forth. These three inputs are the only compulsory ones. However, you're also optionally allowed to add the region, which would specify where the activity took place, the source that the factor comes from, for example, base or IEA, and finally, the year of the activity. If you need any support on units and currencies, head over to the templates library in the task pane, where you can insert some cheat sheets to use as guidance on which units and codes are accepted in Climatiq formulas. Let's walk through an example. Here I have an Excel file containing a few activity records from our operations data. One of the entries shows closed-loop HDPE waste disposal for the UK in 2018. At present, Climatiq does not have a dedicated formula for managing waste, so in this case we can use the general estimate method instead. I suggest making sure to have columns for activity ID, amount, unit, region, source, and year for the data layout, as these are some of the expected inputs of the formula. In this example, I've already identified the correct activity ID for waste disposal using the search sheet in the add-in. The search sheet gives you direct access to all of Climatiq's emission factors. The activity ID is listed as a unique identifier, in this case, waste type HDPE, along with all other inputs we need for the formula. Now that our data is ready, let's calculate. To start, click on an empty cell, hit equals on your keyboard, and then select the Climatiq.CALCULATE formula from the list. Alternatively, you can insert the formula directly via the task pane. Then select each input one by one: the activity ID, amount, unit, region, source, and year, separated by commas or semicolons depending on your Excel settings. Close the bracket, press enter, and within moments, the formula returns an emission estimate. Before we review the outputs, I recommend clicking the Add Header button in the task pane to label the columns. It makes the results easier to read. The first column displays the total CO₂ equivalent result. That's your emissions estimate in kilograms of CO₂ equivalent. The following column shows the emission factor name and the source data set it came from. The ID column shows the unique emission factor ID, which you can look up in the Climatiq Data Explorer, or alternatively apply one of our audit trail formulas to the ID to grab further audit details. Lastly, there's a data quality column, which will outline if there are any data quality concerns or additional notes about the emission factor used in the calculation. To make the calculations for all of the business data you have in the sheet, pull down on the formula to apply it across all of the rows. Finally, if you want to get a quick start, Climatiq also provides a general estimate template from the add-in task pane under the Templates tab. It includes pre-filled examples, required inputs, and active formulas that you can edit or expand with your own business data. You've now learned how to use the general estimate formula to calculate emissions for any type of activity using verified emission factors directly within Excel. To learn how to use other climatic formulas, check out the next videos in this how-to series, where we explore fuel, electricity, and travel-specific formulas in more detail. I'll see you in the next video.